Hello everybody, it's the Baker Boys again. How are you?
What's up, dbPTers? How we doing?
dbPTers.
That sounds cool, doesn't it?
It doesn't it? Yeah.
Hey, we have been rebranded though. We've got new t-shirts and hoodies,
we have
vests and shorts.
They look pretty slick as
well. I like them actually. Well,
Yeah.
people are interested. They want to buy them, don't they? So that's a good thing. But they are quite cool. I like them. So we've been rebranded.
Yeah, just spreading ourselves out with clothing. Looks pretty cool. So,
I don't spread myself out. I'm married to your mum, so I can't do things like that.
I can.
That's a funny thing. It was funny in the studio the other day. One of the clients says to me, "You're the only guy I know that can touch women's bodies and talk about their butts and get away with it." And I'm like, "Well, it's my job.
You have to. It's a job role.
It's exactly that." But I said the funniest one I had. I think I was training. I won't mention her name, but she was a 22-year-old, and she was a nice looking young lady. Bearing in mind I'm old, I'm old enough to be a granddad, let alone a dad. Anyway, we're doing pelvic thrusts, and she looks at me and she says, "Oh, do I have camel toe?" I'm like,
do you expect me to look?
Yeah, what do you want to do? Take a look down there? What do you want to do? I was like, no, I'm sure you'll be fine. I really can't look. But I think when it comes to our training, I don't think about, you got bums and boobs in your face all day long. It's just...
I think, as I was saying to other people recently, when I'm with my friends now, when we're out clubbing and stuff, I'll go and walk past and they'll be like, "Oh, look at her tits, look at her bum," and I'm just like, "Dude, she's got calves, she's got triceps," and I don't see that the boob and bum thing anymore. I see the muscle. But you do when you're in this role. When you see someone in public, you immediately look at their muscle.
Well, I think for us, because it's not very common now for people to have muscle to an extent. If you bear in mind 75% of the population are overweight and obese, that leaves like a 25%, and then how many of them actually have muscle and train and are toned or muscular? There's not many. It's a very small percentage. So for us, when we do see someone, it's like, wow, good job.
So guys, get a good bicep, but don't get a tattoo. Tattoos aren't impressive. Muscles are.
They're much harder to get. I tell you that now. It takes a lot more work to get muscle than it does to get a tattoo. But so it's been a good week with the clients, hasn't it? We've had a nice week this week. Lots of people losing weight. Some good life-changing stories going on, which has been great.
Yeah, it's really good at the moment.
Extremely busy. It's been a busy week again. But other than that, all good. How are you doing otherwise, son? What's going on in your life? Not much. You're always working, aren't you, buddy?
Yeah, well, we're now starting to do shifts at the gym, which is nice. So I'm doing some mornings, Dad's doing other mornings, and we're switching it round to give us a bit more of a structure in our lives. Obviously, we've got the little Leo to look after, so we're taking him for walks now. It's giving us an excuse to get out, so that's quite nice.
Gym dog's doing well.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Had him 2 weeks. He's hilarious. The first time we opened the studio to him, he looked round, he was very nervous. Then he actually went into the studio, and of course he gets fussed by everybody. So now, as soon as we open the door, he's like a bolt of lightning. He's whoosh in there. He's like, "Fuss me, everybody! Come on, come get some!"
He's so hyper.
I know. He just rolls around showing his plums to everybody, like fuss me. But he definitely knows he gets fussed now when he goes in there. But we're getting requests now. If someone has a good session, they're saying, "Can they have a puppy fix afterwards as a reward for training hard?" So we're giving out puppy fixes, which is quite hilarious as well.
So he's about 12 weeks now?
12 weeks now, yeah.
Yeah, so he's calming down a bit, we've noticed. Because for the first while, he was quite nippy. He still bites a little bit, but now he's calmed down quite a lot. He's happy to just chill out on our laps, and it's quite nice.
He's a good dog. I mean, I've had him 2 weeks. He's doing really well. Still shits on the carpet, but I suppose I expect it.
Yeah, he's just a baby.
You still do that, and you're 18, so
I know.
I suppose I should tolerate him doing it.
It's a problem I've got to fix, but I just can't hold it.
No,
I've got a weak bum.
Got a weak bum.
Yes.
Weak bum disease. WBD. What do you suffer with? I suffer with WBD.
Yeah, what the hell's WBD?
Weak bum disease.
There's probably a weak bum disease out there.
Maybe you should have a weak bum. All the squats and deadlifts, you better squeeze your buttocks together and hold it in, shouldn't you, really?
Or after a good leg day, you can't hold shit inside your stomach.
Can't hold shit in on leg day.
No, you can't. It just comes out.
That reminds me of a story. We'll tell one of our clients, Leanne, we'll tell the Leanne story. It was brilliant. I think it was July. and she trained legs, and it was on Facebook. It popped up on Facebook. So it was, I think it was mid-July, and the Facebook post said, "Dear Santa, I realise it's a bit early in the year, but I've been a really good girl this year, and I would really love a chairlift. I can't wait till Christmas because I need it today because I can't walk up the stairs. So Santa, can I have a chairlift, please?" This was in July. Hilarious.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Hey, that's leg day for you, isn't it?
That is leg day. Leg day's good. I think when you do it for a long time, it gets a bit better. But when you first start doing legs, it's like, a lot of our clients at the moment, the ones that have just started, they're complaining about legs. It does suck, sit down on the toilet, for like 3 minutes, you just can't get off again. It's quite funny, but, stairs are a struggle, getting in and out of the car. But that's legs for you.
It's just people adapting, is it? Once you adapt, it gets better. But, been a good week. Leo's been good. I say, just really been busy, for us, isn't it? It's been a really good week with the clients. Had a nice time this week. Some good boot camps with the children. We're now qualified to train children.
Kids, yeah.
So
I did one of those the other day, and it was really good.
Kay's been doing the children's boot camp, so that's just starting off now. That's going really well. It's good fun. He's really enjoying that, and it's nice that at 18, Cade can be motivational to other children. So I really like that because he's still young, and they're looking up to him already, which is lovely.
I'm a strapping young gent.
Is that right?
So parents, if you've got any kids, you want to exercise, getting them more fit, bring them down. You know where we are. Drop them off. Let them have some fun.
Unless you listen to this podcast in Australia, of course, and that'd be a bit of a problem.
Or some Ghana, probably somewhere like that.
Yeah, because as you know, we are worldwide. We're broadcasting worldwide. Everyone's listening to us all over the world.
That's why they call us Globo Gym.
Globo Gym.
Dodgeball.
We're better than you, and we know it.
Quality movie.
I definitely want to do that. Okay, have a look. Let's go.
Right, dudes. So we've got a bit more of a structure to our podcast today. So for a while we've been wanting to get a podcast out, but we can't because we're a bit busy. But now we've sat down, we've said, no, we're doing this now, and we're going to commit to it. So we've got a few topics we want to talk about today. So that's low reps versus high reps, creatine, monohydrate, and we'll have a little chat about the 4 energy systems as well. And we'll tie them all together because they're all very, very linked. And it'll be a bit interesting. We'll have a little chat. We'll get that out of the way, and then we'll just have a little general chat about stuff. Does that sound good to you?
Well, these are some of the things that have been raised with us by some of our clients here in the studio. Quite a few of our clients are trying creatine now, so that's raised this topic. And we have our own dbPT way of training. We have our own program. Well, we have about 200 different workouts, but we have our own style of training, which we like, and people ask about that and why do we do that. So we should.
Well, number one, the shit works.
That's what we say, don't we? Why do you do that? Well, this shit works. That's why we do it. But there is a reason we do it. But we're going to get into that a little bit today. Okay then, Sam. Well, you might as well head off. I'll have a quick drink while you get going.
Okay, so low reps versus high reps. Now, these are 2 different ways of training. So, low reps being you do lower reps but heavier weight. So this is more strength training. So, for example, I don't know, if you're a power lifter, you do very few reps but very, very high weight. High reps would be, let's say, 12 to 15, and you'd do lower weight. And this would be for more endurance-based exercising. So they're the 2 different types.
Basically, the lower rep range is about 1 to 3, which is for the powerlifting rep range. Just do it. That's myofibrillar, it's known as. So the lower rep range will actually break the fibres down, and obviously the muscles grow bigger. The higher rep range, which is known as 12 to 15, it can be a lot more. Can be 20 reps.
Yeah.
That's sarcoplasmic training. So basically what it's doing, it's forcing liquids into the muscle, so sarcoplasm into the muscle. The lower rep range, breaks the fibre down and the muscles grow bigger for you. The higher rep range forces the liquid sarcoplasm into the muscles that makes them expand, and that's what's commonly known as the pump.
Yes.
And that's what the pump is. It's forcing liquids into the muscles.
So if you're doing serious strength training, you probably won't get the pump. But if you're more endurance-based, doing higher reps, you'd get more of a pump into the muscles.
And hypertrophy is just they call muscle hypertrophy. Do you remember you used to get at college? You said hypertrophy, and everyone started taking the mickey out of you, saying it was hypertrophy.
No, it's my teacher.
Was it? Yeah, the teacher saying it's hypertrophy. No, it isn't.
He said hypertrophy, and then because I've been learning about hypertrophy, which is the phrase. I mean, you can say it different ways, but I'm pretty sure it's hypertrophy. Well, it sounds cooler. But anyway, he asked a question. I stuck my hand up and was like, hypertrophy. Everyone looked at me and just started laughing. I was like, what the hell did you just say? And I was like, hypertrophy. It's not hypertrophy, is it?
I think he just didn't know what hypertrophy was. I think he just had to take the mickey because you confused him.
He just read it off his bit of paper, probably, didn't he?
Your vast intelligence just blew him off his feet.
Exactly.
So he went into panic mode.
I felt like I was in a class of apes.
Yeah. Muscle hypertrophy, it means an increase in muscle size. So hyper basically means over or more. Trophy means growth. So it's over or more growth. So it's basically growth of muscle cells. That's what it is.
Indeed.
So when it comes to this, I said we have the myofibrillar hypertrophy. Hypertrophy.
Oh dear! Oh no!
That's because we've just been talking about it. Oh my god!
Oh dear!
And then the myofibrillar oh my god! I've got hypertrophy. So just two different ways of building muscle, simplistic, and I can stop saying it now. So when it comes to that, there's two different camps as such about they argue about which builds more muscle. Is it the lower rep range or is it the higher rep range that build muscle? Well, the truth is no one really knows. We've read the studies and they commonly argue about what's right and what's wrong. Is it low reps? Is it high reps? They both work.
You can do both. Definitely, and that's part of our program. That's why we do both in our sessions, and our clients know this. You do 2 sets of heavy and 1 set of volume because both types work, and that's why we include them both.
Yeah. So basically, the big difference is what I can see from studies. Again, everyone argues about rep range. It's one of those things everyone thinks they know better. And when we teach people in our studio, we always say this is our way. It's not the way. We make it clear.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get in an argument with anyone because everyone has their own idea.
Because no type is perfect. Like anything, no type of training is perfect. Everyone's got their own ways of doing it. Everyone has their own beliefs. And this is our way. And we've got proof that it works. So we've stuck to it.
Through people.
Yeah, obviously.
And the big thing is obviously is adaptation. Our big thing is adaptation. You have to adapt things. I say the body gets used to it, or the body knows what you're doing. Well, the body doesn't have a brain. That's ridiculous. No. But it's still good to change things up every now and then. Doesn't matter if it's diet or training. So the lower rep range, we call the powerlifting rep range. Strength and power, 1 to 3 reps. That will break the muscle down and it will build muscle. But where that has an advantage over the higher rep range is it will make you stronger than the higher rep range. So there's definitely links to strength with the lower rep range. But in regards to building muscle, there's not a lot in it. You can go with a lower rep range or you can go with the higher rep range. And basically, if you come close to failure with either of them, they both build muscle. They can both stimulate type 1 and type 2 muscle fibers equally well. So it really doesn't matter what you do. And I think genetics play a part. Some people will prefer the higher rep range. Some people will prefer the lower rep range.
And on that note, the 2 types of muscle fibers, obviously type 1 and type 2, or fast twitch and slow twitch. Fast twitch being the more strength-based fiber, and slow twitch being the one that's for more endurance based. So genetically, a lot of runners, cyclists, they probably have more slow twitch than fast twitch, as they have more endurance. Their muscles are more endurance based. You see a lot of people that are genetically strong, which are powerlifters because they're made for it. They'll have more fast twitch because after a while, not only does your body adapt to it and you form fast twitch, but some people genetically have it anyway. I just went into more detail about the fibers.
I like it.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. So let's break this down again and make it more simplistic. And then that's what we do here. Cade and I are simplifiers. We're not, academically intelligent when it comes to this as such, but we are very passionate about it, and we like to simplify things because the average person, they don't understand.
You don't need to make it hard.
And you don't need to. We don't need to exaggerate it. We don't want to. As we say, we're not here to make ourselves look good. We're here to make our clients look good. So we simplify things so they can understand them and gain the rewards from them. So lower rep range builds muscle. You will get stronger, we believe, from what the studies tell us, than you will in a higher rep range. The higher rep range will force sarcoplasm into the muscles to make them expand, and that builds muscle too. Now, let's talk about how they come into individuals. Well, age, size, a lot of things come into this. So if, for me personally at 53, if I do the higher rep range, lots and lots and lots of reps, that might actually bother my joints more. As I suffer with arthritis. We've discussed that as well. Repetitive movements mess my joints up. So I'm quite good with the lower, heavier rep range, funny enough, because I'm not doing lots and lots of movements. Also, what I find is the higher rep range, which is commonly the bodybuilding rep range, what bodybuilders do. And you see it in the magazines, they're doing drop sets, supersets, fantastic, awesome sets, whatever you want to call them. For me to do that, it would be a lot of work for me, and I think I would suffer a little bit. And the truth is, most of these bodybuilders are on enhancing drugs. They are on anabolic steroids of some kind. They can put their body through that. I think as a natural trainer, that becomes more difficult. Do you agree, Cade?
Yeah, and I think it goes back to our original saying of we want to get people doing as least work as possible to get the most out of their training. We think that, and for you, we have a few clients with arthritis, and we wouldn't want to give them 20 plus reps on an exercise. Just give them 6 to 8 reps on the weight they need to do. Yes.
So I think the higher rep range, it's again supersets. It can be a lot of stress on the body sometimes. And again, if you are enhanced, then you can handle that. If you're not enhanced and you're an older trainer, someone who is, well, I shouldn't say that really, because again, I'm 53 and I do beat the weights up pretty tough.
Yeah, you are pretty good.
But generally, a lot of high reps, definitely high impact on me. If we're doing boot camps, if I'm doing jumping lunges and things like that, that definitely has an effect on my joints.
That's not good for anyone, though, is it? Really?
Not really, not long term. But so I think that the high volume stuff, generally maybe for younger, if you have got joint issues and stuff, maybe not. But they both work. So what do we do here at dbPT? Well, when we first designed our way of training, we looked at the studies, and it was clear there were two camps, and each camp was arguing about what was right and what was wrong. And we thought, well, let's not argue, let's merge them. Let's actually bring the two together. So what we do here is we do 2 sets of the... Basically, it depends on the person, but we either do...
So, like, for me, I do 6 reps normally. Yeah. A lot of people around my age, a guy just left who's 21, he does 6 reps. That's still testosterone, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, we go 6 to 8 reps, depending on... And it's also people's abilities. But the lower rep range, so we have the 1 to 3 for the power, and then we have the 12 to 15 for the sarcoplasmic hypertrophy as such. We just drew a line in the middle. We said, okay, let's go 6 to 8 for 2 progressive sets. So we do 3 sets. The first 2 sets are 6 to 8 reps of progressive overload. So we're very fortunate we have our own training app as well.
Very, very fortunate.
Well, fortunate myself. We're not fortunate. We designed it, but we're able to track all our training. So we're always progressing people's training. So the first 2 sets, we go 6 to 8 reps, which is it's kind of the powerlifting, and a little bit more than that going into the higher rep range. So we thought rather than argue, let's just draw a line in the middle and go in the middle. Then the third set we call a volume set. So we have 2 sets progressive overload, and we have a third set which we call a volume set, and that's how we explain it to our clients. So volume, it just means more of, and the volume set is in the 12 to 15 rep range. Do you want to explain how that works, Code, the 12 to 15? So we go to 12, and if we can do 12, we go 15?
So yeah, well, 12 would be the minimum, but we always want to aim for 15. So the 12 to 15 rep range would be about 60% of the 1 rep max. So you drop down, roughly cut it in half, add a bit more on, we say, and you do 12 to 15. Now, if you get to 12 and it's like, oh, I don't think I can get 15, because we always say as well, always stop 1 to 2 before it gets too much, for safety reasons. We don't want you losing your form or suffering too much. So we always say, if you do 12 and it gets a bit too much, you can stop. But if you've got more in you, can get to 15. So that's 60% of the 1 rep max, and obviously 80% would be our 6 to 8 reps.
So basically that is our system of training here. Like I say, it's not the way, it's our way. So we do 3 sets of each exercise. We have the first 2 sets of progressive overload, so we track the amount, the load, we track the load, the amount the our client is lifting. And basically what we say to them is, for our novices, we say, when you do 8, go up in weight. It rhymes. So when you do 8, go up in weight. Stop when you have 1 or 2 left, or your form goes. And we explain that. So stop when you have 1 or 2 left. So if you get to 4 and you think you can do 1 or 2 more, stop there.
Strive for 5 next time.
That's it. We're going to come back next week. We can look and see that you did 4, and we're going to try for 5. And we say, I don't care if you shit yourself.
Yeah. But don't shit yourself.
No, don't. That's
please.
A joke.
That's disgusting.
So we do 2 sets progressive overload, and we say when you do 8, go up in weight. Stop when you have 1 or 2 left. So when you feel you've got 1 or 2 left, stop there. Or if your form fails, stop there. So literally, if something starts going wrong, your body's moving too much, stop, and that'll prevent injury. That's the first 2 sets. The third set we call the volume set. And basically what we say to our clients is, okay, we're going to drop the weight to 60% of your max weight, and then we're going to do between 12 and 15 reps. You're striving for 12. If you do 12 and you have some left in the tank, then you go 15. You always stop when you have 1 or 2 left or your form goes. Now, studies do show us that if we don't have to go to failure every set and every session.
There's minimal, what's the word for it?
Gain,
that's it.
Yeah.
There's not much difference stopping 1 or 2 before. It's still the same muscle gain, pretty much.
Yeah, so stopping 1 or 2 before, there's not, you don't lose much muscle gain than going to failure all the time. But what definitely is better is you don't get as many injuries. Because what we don't like here is if someone's injured, it's not the point that they're injured and it's horrible for them, but most of our clients, when they get injured, they're just devastated because they love training here so much.
Yeah.
It's not the point that they're injured, it's a point of, oh, bollocks, I can't come in anymore.
Yeah.
Because they're injured. We say, you might have to rest for a little while. So they're more upset that they can't come in and train. So that's why we always say, stop when you have 1 or 2 left or your form goes. And the studies support that as well, from what we can read.
And it's not worth it anyway. So we've had people that have had injuries, they've gone out for a week or 2, and they come back and it's like they're on square one again, they say. It's not worth trying to go, get the 15 reps if you're going to hurt yourself. So we always stick by that. Just be sensible about it and stop 1 or 2 before.
And there you go. So that's basically covered it. So it's low reps versus high reps. There are other methods of training. As we mentioned, you've got drop sets, supersets, different ways. Then, there's some good studies supporting DUP, daily undulating periodization. Big term, too complicated for most of our clients, but basically what that means is changing it up all the time. So you just change it up on a regular basis. I can't argue with the science, the studies are there, but for an average person, it's too complex in nature. And what is, very evident to us is the reps and sets and progressive overload, they're not as important as consistency. It's turning up, it's coming in and being consistent. You could have the best program in the world, but if you don't come in and do it, it's going to be useless. So consistency is the key. So you can have a poor training program and still build more muscle than someone that has a perfect program that doesn't come in to do their workouts. So I think daily undulating periodisation can be too complex. Now, we're very fortunate again that we have our programs, so we can program DUP as a 3-month workout for our clients. But again, even if that's in someone's app and they can access that, it's still very complicated.
Yeah.
Because they've got to read all the different things they have to do at different times. So initially, we stick with our way of training, 2 sets progressive overload, with a volume set, and that will keep them for a year, most a year and a half.
Keep it simple and make it so they can keep coming back and doing it.
And I think it's more a point of what people say to us is, all right, I can actually do this. I like this. I can do it.
This is achievable.
Yeah. And they enjoy the fact of they're doing like a heavy lift. They're like, wow, they're really enjoying that feeling of strength. And then the volume set, they're pumping them out at the end, and they really they lose their breath during that one. And they enjoy the program. They enjoy the way of training. Now, what's the key things to let's say building muscle, because we're talking about reps and sets, so it's building muscle. What is the key thing? Well, 2 of the key things is, number 1 is consistency. It doesn't matter what you do, but you have to turn up and do it. And number 2, if you actually enjoy your training, you are going to turn up and do it.
Yeah.
So for us, it's getting our clients to enjoy the method of training and not overcomplicating it, making people believe that they can actually do it. And when they come in and believe in themselves, they turn up more often, and we get great results from it. So that's our method of training, and it works. We know it works because we see it.
It works. Yeah, we've got evidence for it.
We see it all the time, and it's fun, and it's simplistic in nature but effective, as we say with a lot of our, our exercises are the same. I've been saying to my clients for years, do you want me to get you jumping up and down or hanging upside down from a pull-up bar with a kettlebell in your teeth? Or do you want me to actually help you lose weight and gain muscle?
You know what? I'm going to go try that.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You most probably will as well. You get a lot of personal trainers. They literally try to do all these crazy things to make themselves look good, but don't focus on actually making their clients look good. And they're looking for the next best stupid exercise to do that just doesn't bloody work.
You've seen it too many times as well.
Doing ridiculous things. And it's like, if you actually asked your client what their goals are, you're getting them doing something that
skipping around.
Yeah, just I don't know, just nothing that really has a great effect on the body. But they're doing it to make themselves look good, and I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry, but that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to make my clients look good, feel good.
That's what they pay for.
That's what they pay for. Yeah. We're here to change their mentality, make them stronger of mind as well as body. We stick to basic exercise. We say basic but highly effective exercises.
Yeah.
So people can understand them, they can focus on them, they can perfect them, and once they can do that and they become confident, they literally say to us, right, this I didn't realise weight training was this is good, I can do this. And then they come skipping in the studio 3, 4, 5 times a week with a big smile on their face, having a great workout, and that is truly where the magic is, I believe.
Yeah, it's good, and it keeps people coming in, keeps them getting results, and it all just works well. Right, so we've been talking about this for like half an hour now, so let's move on to the next one. So I'm going to dip into...
I'm surprised how much we rattle on us.
Yeah, I know.
We're quite good at this, aren't we? I thought we were shit. I thought we were really shit. Maybe we're just shit.
Don't know, maybe. Don't know, not sure.
I'll tell you what, though, laughing aside, everyone's raving about our podcast. Everyone's enjoying it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Everyone's enjoying it, so it's good.
I think because...
You should try harder.
Yeah, I think these are good. This episode's probably going to be like an hour long, and the last one was as well. A lot of people just like, washing up, just tidying up, and having this on in the background. I'm not sure they even care about what we're talking about. I just want to hear our voices.
Well, it's because you're such a hunk, Cade. I understand that.
Right, so I'm going to get a little bit more into detail about energy systems. Now, we as humans have 4 energy systems. 2 of them being anaerobic and 2 of them being aerobic. Anaerobic means no oxygen. No oxygen comes in at all. Aerobic means it's fully oxygen. Okay? Oxygenated, that's the word. So, number 1, we have the ATP energy system. So, adenosine triphosphate.
Try saying that when you're pissed.
Adenosine
Which I am.
Oh dear. We're not, guys. Disclaimer, we're not. It's fine. Adenosine triphosphate. I can't even say it. Adenosine triphosphate. There we go. So that is an energy system that lasts for about 3 seconds. So this is anaerobic.
It's a bit like me having sex then. Perhaps I'm using that energy system. That's my problem. Maybe I should stop using the energy system and turn to my fat storage instead.
ATP, baby.
That's it. Take that ATP. It's done, baby.
Oh my god. Right. Okay.
Sorry, son.
Shit, I was not ready for that.
It's your
one.
mum as well. I'm talking about. I've just violated your mum. Sorry, son.
You just throw me off. Okay.
Yeah, carry on.
So the ATP system lasts for about 3 seconds.
Here comes the ATP, baby.
So this is for like exercises like, I don't know, the hammer throw, sports like that. Obviously, power lifters, they're 1 to 3 reps, or they're just 1 rep max. It won't even last 3 seconds. It's a few seconds, but this system is not for very long, and it's anaerobic. It does not need any oxygen in order to fuel itself. So that is more, as we were discussing earlier about strength training, the 2 to 3 rep range, that would definitely be ATP. Now, you haven't got a lot of ATP, that's why it lasts 3 seconds. But we'll come back a bit later on about a supplement which does help ATP, but that'll be for later on in the podcast. Right, so that's the first energy system. The second one is the creatine phosphate system. So, creatine monohydrate, that's what it sounds like, doesn't it? This is by creatine phosphate, which is a chemical inside the body. This lasts up to 10 seconds, so it's still anaerobic. The body doesn't need oxygen just yet. So that would probably be for a sprint. So, sprinters would probably use that system. They'll start with ATP, then switch over to CP because they've run out of ATP. So, they're both the anaerobic systems. The third one is the lactic acid system. So, we know what lactic acid is, don't we, Dad? That's the burning stuff inside your muscles. So, that is a byproduct of lactic acid. So that's carbon dioxide. What's the stuff in your piss called?
Urea?
No, it's of A, doesn't it? Ammonia. Was it urea?
Yeah.
No, it's urea. No, it's urea. That's the.
I don't know.
Yeah,
cut that because we don't know what we're talking
about. No, we do. Trust me, it's urea. Urea is a byproduct that you do your wee out as well as it comes out in lactic acid in the muscle. So lactic acid system, that's fueled by carbohydrates. So this is when oxygen starts to come in now. That's the first the energy supply it takes from the carbohydrates. So that would be about 3 minutes, up to 3 minutes, then that conks out. Then the fourth one is the aerobic system. So that would be fully oxygenated, and that's fueled by carbs and fat and protein. Fat being the long-lasting storage as it burns for a lot longer. Carbohydrates burn very quickly, so the body will burn carbohydrates very fast in order to get a quick energy boost. That's why a lot of people have sugars and stuff to get that energy boost. Whereas fat, that's long-lasting, and that will fuel the body for a long time. It's not very efficient, but it's there to fuel the body. Whereas the ATP, energy system, that is the most efficient system, but it only lasts 3 seconds. Aerobic, that would be for marathon runners. That's about anywhere from 3 minutes onwards. You'd use this energy system, and that will be a byproduct of carbon dioxide and water. Hence why we sweat when we exhale more. We're getting rid of that byproduct in our wee, when we breathe out, when we sweat. And they're the 4 energy systems, and I thought I'd talk about those as that's what we were talking about earlier with low and high reps. Obviously, when you're doing high rep training, you're going to start using your lactic acid system. When you're doing your 2 to 3 reps, you can start doing ATP. Right, so they're the energy systems.
Just I'll butt in there.
Oh, go on then, sure.
We're just, on the back of that, of course, what we know now is we can use ketones for fuel. So some of you might have heard about the ketogenic diet, which is a high-fat diet, pretty much all-fat diet. So it's high-fat, very minimal carbs, and medium to low protein to an extent as well. And then you can get your body to turn to ketones for energy. But we can talk about that another day. We'll talk about the ketogenic diet.
Yeah, ketosis.
Yeah, so the body can actually use ketones. And, of course, we never knew this. This is interesting, but it's pretty much been proven now the body can burn ketones as energy. The ketogenic diet, I've tried it. It's very difficult. It's very trendy at the moment. For medical reasons, I would definitely use that diet for medical reasons. But for the average person, very difficult, very difficult. And I've got no doubts it's good. From what the studies I've read, the ketogenic diet is very good. I don't think it's sustainable for the average person.
Hell no, it's not very good.
No, and I'll be honest with you, we had a conversation the other day about this, Cade and I. It's a lot of people I hear talking about the ketogenic diet, and they've had eating disorders in the past. It seems like it's another eating disorder for a lot of people. And I was talking to so I was listening to some person. I think it may be on another podcast, and they said, I used to eat lots of blueberries and I don't eat them anymore because I was consumed by eating too many blueberries. I'm like, it's a bloody blueberry.
You could have a lot worse.
It's the antioxidants, you can get so much good nutrition from a blueberry. And she was talking about a blueberry like it was evil. So I think there's a line there. I do think there's a line. I think, and when I listen to these people that are raving about the ketogenic diet, and it's the best thing ever, as they carry on talking, it becomes clear that they've had eating disorders before, and they're just trying something else, and it's another new diet. So I do think the ketogenic diet is going to come, it's going to go. I think there is a time and a place for it. I truly do. But I don't think carbs are bad. Carbs are not, carbs are certainly not evil. And fruit was placed on this planet by whoever,
our God.
Our God, whoever we believe in.
Yeah.
And the fruit was put here, and fruit's awesome. And I think to take it out of a diet would be a little bit crazy. So yeah, we'll talk about that another day. But I just think so. We can use ketones as a fuel, but I do think there'll be a lot more information coming out on this. I say there is a time and a place for it, but generally, does the average person need to do it? Do you need to go on a ketogenic diet to lose weight? Hell no, of course you don't. It doesn't matter what diet you're on and what name it is. It is all about calories. If you're in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. If you're in a calorie surplus, you will gain weight. Doesn't matter what crazy named diet you're on. That principle is pretty much carved in stone. All right,
maybe
move on.
A bit before its time. Maybe in the future. Remember Cloudy with Chance of Meatballs, that machine that made all the food? Maybe everyone's going to be like ketosis in the future, and we just don't eat any proper food anymore. Maybe it's a bit before its time. In about 100 years. Sorry, I think the dog's drinking white ethanol, so I'm just going to stop him from doing that.
Just
you carry on talking.
White ethanol? Where's white ethanol coming from?
I don't know. There's a bottle of bioethanol down there and he's licking it, so I'm just going to...
Yeah, I'm sure it's not open.
Why are you behind there?
I can't believe the dog's already turned into alcoholic. We're only ahead in 2 weeks.
I can't even get to him. What's that in your mouth? What the hell are you doing? Ugh, what is that? Ugh, it's like the corner of the room, like the remnants.
Alright, it's nice,
Alright,
tasty.
You can just stay there, mate. Alright. Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Dog Saga.
Oh, he's back, hello.
Leo Dog Saga again.
Do you want to say anything on the podcast, dude? Do you want to say anything? Oh my god, me too.
That was powerful, man. That was powerful. God. If you just missed that was the meaning of life. If you just missed it,
he's our messiah.
Yeah, he'll come back and tell you more about it later. I'm sure.
He'll be later on in the podcast.
Yeah.
Right. So next topic is the supplement creatine monohydrate. So it's the most well-researched and effective supplement ever. Okay. So basically, creatine monohydrate is a little molecule. It's found in the body and it stores high levels of energy, just like the ATP system we were talking about earlier. So this can be help for cognitive performance, so like the brain, the bones, the muscles and the liver, and you can get increased strength after supplementing this.
So it comes from creatine. It's a food
for meat.
It's not. We some clients have been asking us about creatine. It's been around for a long time, but newbies won't have heard of it. And it's about the only thing that I recommend. And I recommend it because it's as Kate said, it's the most researched supplement ever. And it's awesome. I mean, the studies are there. We can't argue the fact.
There is evidence.
So creatine it comes from food sources. So it is natural. You get it from meat. You can get it from all different meats. You can get it from fish, eggs, Organ meats will contain it. You can get it from lots of different products, really, but the point is it is a natural product. And as Cade said, that you can it does so much for the body. And in fact, over the last couple of weeks, because we've been talking about this a bit more, and I've been recommending it to some clients that are really doing well in the studio to assist and enhance their lives and training, it improves lots of things. And as Cade said, it helps protein synthesis, so it can increase lean muscle growth. It can actually give you improved strength and power output. It also sustains effort and helps prevent fatigue as well, so it can actually help with the training. Can improve muscle recovery, so it can actually make you recover from your sessions better, which is good. I've also heard it can help injuries as well, so if you actually get injured, it can help improve injury time, which is quite nice. Other studies, I mean, it works cognitively as well. So as Cade mentioned earlier, it can actually increase cognitive performance.
Your brain size.
Make
it can
you
make
think
you smarter,
clearer,
yeah.
make you smarter, make you think clearer.
And Einstein.
Which also can have an effect on depression. So it can help with depression. So it has some effect there as well. So it is just a great product in so many ways. And it helps in so many ways. So over the last couple of weeks, because you always think of it as being a bodybuilder's supplement as such.
Yeah.
And it's not a bodybuilder supplement. It is a supplement that's good for everyone. Mm-hmm. Now, there's not many supplements that I would recommend to everyone, but I think creatine's one of them.
Yeah. It's a little super supplement, isn't it?
Because it helps in so many ways. It's natural. It helps in so many ways. I mean, I never allowed you to take it until you were 18.
No.
But I'm aware that a lot of people now are actually letting their children have creatine.
But I mean, why not? Because you get it in meat.
Well, exactly
Kids
right.
eat meat,
it's just
so...
I think because we're learning more about it.
I was quite young at the time.
Yeah, I weren't sure myself, and obviously I wanted to get
Yeah.
my son taking things that I didn't know 100% about.
Didn't want to make his son take anabolic steroids every day.
No, definitely not. So. Yeah, creatine is such a good supplement, and the best thing is it's very cheap. It's not even that expensive. Now, when it comes to there are different types of creatine with different names. I won't go into all the different types, but basically, to make it very simplistic, creatine monohydrate, that is the only one you need to concern yourself with. So creatine monohydrate, it's the cheaper one. It does exactly what the others do. None others are better. Creatine monohydrate, I say, is cheap, so just make sure if you do shop for it, all you want to look for is 100% creatine monohydrate. Don't go for any flavoured ones or anything like that.
No.
Just 100% creatine monohydrate. Get a good quality one.
So that's 5 milligrams a day, isn't it?
It's 5 milligrams
5 milligrams a day. And make sure you don't take too much. Don't go too crazy on it. You can make yourself very, very sick and give yourself the poops. And make sure you drink lots of water as well, because it can give you cramps if you don't have water in your system, or sufficient water.
Well, I've never really known any negatives, but some of the negatives, for certain people that are sensitive to it, you can get, as you said, abdominal pains, and you can get cramping from it, get the shits, you can get a bit nauseous from it. It might make you constipated.
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't have a pint of the powder. Just have 5 milligrams like it says, and you should be okay.
But on saying that, I don't...
No,
that's a lie. I maybe known 2 people over years that it made them a little bit nauseous, sort of turned their stomach a little bit. But generally, it's fine for everybody. And it is it's not a bodybuilding supplement. It's a health supplement. It should be thought of as a health supplement because it helps us in so many ways. And... I think everyone should try it, and especially if you are training and you're putting a lot of effort into your exercising, then it is something you could add in that can enhance what you're already doing, and it's completely natural.
Creatine monohydrate, approved by dbPT. Get your supplements now.
There you go.
Dun, 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 dun. Hell yeah.
Not that we don't. When it comes to recommending supplements, we don't. We have a local company that we use, but generally, we don't sort of recommend any certain ones. And I say certain supplements do work. You don't need supplements. That's why it's called a supplement. Supplemental to your food.
Yeah, it's added on, an addition.
You don't need a supplement, but can you use them? Oh, yeah. I mean, I do take supplements. And another one we get questioned about nearly every day is of course, protein powder.
Oh, God, yeah. If I had £1 for every time someone said protein powder to me, I'd be like, I'd be rich. I wouldn't be on this podcast.
No, that's right.
I'd be in Spain.
I like it.
Yeah.
And I'd be there with you.
Yeah, you would be.
Protein powder, yeah, it's a supplement. It can be used. If you're eating enough protein, then you don't need it. I must admit, I do have some protein powder, and Cade has some as well. I generally will have some in a smoothie. I make my own smoothie.
Porridge.
It's very nice in porridge. You could have a nice banana.
Let's go through the list. I think we've made pancakes before. We've made ice cream, made hot chocolate. I've done coffee once. You could pretty much put this powder with anything, but we've got some great flavoured powders. I think at the moment we've got birthday cake flavour, and we've got apple crumble and custard flavour. And I'll tell you, they are really, really good. Very tasty.
But again, you don't need them. So if you're eating plenty of protein in the day, if you're getting chicken and meats,
if you're a meat boy,
quinoa, obviously you're vegetarian, but if you're getting the meats, nuts, if you're getting the proteins, you don't need protein powder. But if you are not eating enough in a day, it can be used. Again, I add it to porridge sometimes just because it makes my porridge taste good.
Bulks it out a bit.
Yeah, it just makes it taste nice. It goes from plain
good.
porridge to a chocolate porridge. I make my own smoothie where I use greens powder and I add in different mushroom extracts and turmeric, and I will put some protein powder in with that as well.
Yeah.
But do you need it? No, you don't. And you can use it if you need to. The same with creatine.
I think you need to do a bit of your own research into what you buy as well, because there's so many supplements, it's unbelievable, and a lot of them are pumped with chemicals and not very good. Because I've seen a few before that I look at and think, what the hell? You look at the ingredients, and if you get the good quality ones, then you're fine. But you need to know what you're looking for, because there's so many supplements, you don't know what you're taking.
Yeah, and but I say go to a sort of a more of a well-known company, but you haven't got to spend over the top for a lot of these products either. While we're on that, I'm just thinking amino acids. Amino acids are very trendy at the moment. Amino acids are basically the molecular form of protein. So amino acids it's just a protein again.
Eight molecules of amino acid make one protein. Just for I let you know.
Thanks, mate. And you again, you don't need them. People are taking aminos after training. If you're eating enough protein, you don't need them. It's just protein again.
It just sounds cool, doesn't it? I think people are like, oh, I'm going to have some aminos because I'm very cool.
Everything comes from food. Everything comes from food. And
if it doesn't come from food, don't have it.
We'll get onto these crazy diets at the moment. Hopefully someone will ask us about a certain diet and we can have a right go at that, have a right pop at that. But, you get all these stupid bars and stupid drinks out there. Everything comes from food. It's all in food. You do not need a stupid bar or a stupid drink, and you don't need to drink aloe vera suntan lotion to lose weight. There's no scientific evidence behind aloe vera as a diet product. It's just people taking your money and are happy to do that. Just eat food. All these things, they all stem from food. Where do you think they come from? Do you think there's some magic in them?
Yeah, sprinkle some pixie dust in there.
Yeah, that's right.
It.
So
basically, guys, if we get to 10 followers, we'll do a Herbalife diss track. We'll do a rap dissing Herbalife.
A rap, I like that.
Do a diss track, for Herbalife.
A diss track.
Yeah, we'll diss them.
Diss them. Not just Herbalife, they're just an example. There's plenty out there, but yeah, everything comes from food. So if you see a drink, it's got all these crazy things in there, promising you lots of things. It all comes from food. So if you have a good diet, then you don't need anything else. I say they're called supplements for a reason. They're supplemental to your food intake.
They're not called essentials. They're called supplementation.
Yeah. Right. So
that's it, dude.
I think that's about it.
We've covered all of our topics we meant to cover today, and we're just about on our 50th minute.
It's not bad.
No, that's pretty good.
So if anyone has any topics you would like us to cover,
shoot us a message, let us know, and we'll talk about it on the podcast.
if you're interested in things, you want to learn about anything you don't quite understand, then let us know and we'll cover that for you. And so hopefully today has been a little bit interesting.
It was a school lesson.
Little knowledge bomb there for you.
Whoa! Kaboom! Mind blown.
And we shall be back, all going well, next week for another one.
Hope so.
Time permitting, we've been very, very busy. Time permitting, we'll come back and we'll waffle on about something else.
Hell yeah.
Knowledge bomb.
Boom! Boom! Alright guys, catch you later. Have a lovely, lovely day and we'll see you again soon.
Love you all. Bye-bye now.
Bye!